Hey, good morning. Everdossi with Hancock Mortgage Partners. I am here with Kenny Mosher from Golden Tiger USA, and we're going to talk about pain relieving cream and hand sanitizer and business in general, and some of the things that Kenny does out in the market, in his community, and in a little background on the company. So, Kenny, welcome to talking with me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. Give us a little background on yourself, on your life, and how you got to where you're at now.
Well, it's God pulls us through a bunch of different tunnels and journeys, and a lot of it's self-inflicted, but for the most part, growing up, had a great childhood. Went to school, did all that kind of stuff, and life skyrockets into all kinds of different journeys, like I was saying earlier. But anyway, I started out, I hurt my back really, really bad, protruding discs, L3 and L4, and went to an amazing physical therapist. His name was Eric Haggard. I believe he's in Sedona, Arizona now. Anyway, what he did was he worked on me, and we went on ahead and were able to condition my muscles, my back, everything to the point where I did not need surgery, which every doctor in the world was telling me I needed surgery, and I wasn't about to get opened up. Long story short, he used a product on me, a muscle relieving product. I can't remember which one it was, and through him and myself, I just kept on thinking, golly, I can make this product. So anyway, I had a lot of anatomy and a lot of physiology, a lot of chemistry underneath my belt, and kind of started playing around with this idea of making a muscle rub. And from there, I found myself a great chemist, a great formulator, and we started our company called Golden Tiger 16 years ago. So here we are today. We make a pain relieving cream called Golden Tiger Natural Pain Relieving Cream. We just developed a really, really good hand sanitizer, and it's a 62% alcohol, and the whole coronavirus, the COVID situation is what spawned that idea. And 3 or 4 weeks later, here we are. We've developed it, and we're out pushing it. We also make a few horse liniments, which is a lot of fun. That's kind of a personal hobby of mine. And anytime you can mix a hobby with some work, it makes it really, really easy, a lot easier to do. Anyway, that's kind of where we've been, and that's where we are today.
Awesome. So now I know you're a horse show guy. You like horse shows. You're also a rodeo fan and support both horse shows and rodeos.
Yeah,
but I think what's something people don't really know is you were an IndyCar guy before you got into pain relieving cream. Give us a little background on IndyCar and what you did there.
That was a really, really super fun time in my life earlier on. I worked with lots of different teams, enjoyed the heck out of it. I did several Indy 500s, left front tire changer. More than likely, that's where my back got blown out. But to ask me to do it all over again and be 22, 23 years old, I would do it all over again.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's something that I had Forrest Bramwell on, 5-time NFR Cowboy in the bareback riding last week, and my chiropractor asked me the question, if you could do it all over again, would you? And I posed that question to Forrest, and his answer was the same as yours. And my answer was twice as hard. I would do it twice as hard, even knowing what I know now about my body and where I'm at. It's amazing what we do in our youth, and people have always told us, you're going to regret that later, especially rodeo cowboys. IndyCar changing tires is not an easy job. There's a lot of injury, stuff like that. You're going to regret that later in life. And I've never met a guy that did IndyCar or rodeo that was sitting around going, man, I really regret that. it's all they talk about. It's all they want to talk about because it was a great time in their life. And I think it's awesome that you've taken IndyCar and the aggression and the challenge of the sport and hit adversity and then use that to change your life by creating Golden Tiger pain relieving cream, because you're a savior to all the old men like me that are sore all the time. One of the things I had somebody ask me a while back about Golden Tiger, and I said, I wished he made it in 55-gallon drums so I could soak in it. It's an amazing product. So tell us about Golden Tiger and why it's effective, why it works, because I've used everything from Icy Hot to Tiger Balm to you name it, I've used it. And yours is the only product I've found that, number one, I don't mind the smell, because a lot of them are just grotesque smelling and bother me. But it actually works. So give us a little insight into how that is.
Well, what's kind of fun and makes this job, I don't even know if it's a job. I think it's an adventure. And what makes this whole process work great is in today's world, believe it or not, I will get handwritten letters from elderly individuals, obviously. I'm just assuming elderly individuals. But anyway, I'll get handwritten letters from people, mailed snail mail, the whole tradition of the way it used to be versus all this technical stuff. And they will thank me profusely for making this product, helping their mom, helping their dad. And I think anytime you can help someone, smile at someone, anything like that, I think it's just really rewarding for me to do something along those lines. But back to your question, is this product is a natural product, which is really, hard to find in today's world. There's a couple of ingredients that are really kind of hard to come by. Yerba mansa is an ingredient. It's a plant that's found in the Rio Grande Valley along riverbanks. It's primarily down in Las Cruces, New Mexico area, Hatch, New Mexico area. And my grandfather, which was a chuck wagon cook, if you can believe this, in the Boot Hill of New Mexico and Arizona, he would use this product. They would harvest this product. They would dry it upside down, very similar to tobacco. And then they would, anytime a horse got lame, anytime a person got hurt, open wound, sore throat, anything, it was just amazing. They would take a leaf of this yerba mansa and they would soak it, they would steep it in boiling water, they would drink it. So anyway, growing up with that piece and those pieces of heritage and knowledge and stuff like that, I wanted to incorporate these ingredients in our product, and we have. Yerba mansa is one of the ingredients that's really kind of hard to come by, and we've even harvested it ourselves, and now it's somewhat available in very, very limited rations. And then we find other ingredients like camphor, menthol, capsaicin. I grew up in Hatch, New Mexico, the chili capital of the world. How fun is that I can actually incorporate a byproduct, an ingredient from where I grew up? And I'm very much into heritage. I love heritage. I love the history of my family, the whole thing. So we kind of combine a lot of those things that I've grown up with, a lot of these ingredients, and we came up with Golden Tiger, and it's a unique product. The capsaicins, the part that capsaicin plays in our product is that it creates the heat. Now, some capsaicin can be smoking hot in just like anything. Too much of anything is not really good for you, and that's the way capsaicin is. but we have menthol and camphor in there, and very similar to the chewing gums and the cough drops. The cough drops, you put a cough drop in your mouth and it opens up all your sinuses and stuff. Well, they have, those cough drops have menthol in it, and menthol and capsaicin together in the right dosages will allow your skin pores to open up. And then we have our capsaicin, and the capsaicin is what heats up. And the whole theory behind heating and cooling is that you can increase blood flow. And we all know that if you can increase blood flow in any area, your back, your neck, headaches, anything like that, you can increase blood flow. You're bringing in your own body's natural healing properties. So we have menthol and camphor in there that opens up the skin pores, and then we have the capsaicin, which is heating, both heating and cooling, amazing outcomes. We have arnica, ginger, willow bark, lots of ingredients that have known properties that have hundreds of years worth of medicinal advantages that help with all kinds of ailments. So we took those ingredients and combined them in it also. And, you know, we just feel like we've really come up with a neat product. And we've been doing it working on 16 years now. And you got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. And I always like that analogy because I can reflect back to anything, IndyCar tire changing. You know, I didn't immediately go to changing a tire. You had to work your way up. You had to become a conditioned athlete. And that's the way we did with Golden Tiger. We started out with a small 5-gallon batch. We went from there to a 25-gallon batch. Now we're making, when we make 500 to 750 gallons at a time. And we do that quite frequently.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm big on heritage and I'm big on tradition. You know, you and I have known each other for quite a while through 4-H and stuff, and 4-H is a heritage that we pass to our kids and stuff like that. The love of the land, you know, be in your community, stuff like that. And so let's talk about some of the things that those type of programs and what we do in the community, because I know you're a huge 4-H supporter. You have the same affliction disease that I have. You can't sit at an auction with your hands in your pockets. I don't have the ability. It's not possible. I have to buy something. But let's talk about some of the things you do in the community with 4-H, helping the kids. You're a big supporter of Youth Rodeo. I know you're a national sponsor of the International Youth Buck and Horse Association. So let's talk about how those types of programs, 4-H and International Youth Buck and Horse, how you got involved in them and what it does for you or for those communities.
I can go back as far as being a child picking up I think it was probably 3rd grade or so. Our principal brought in baby chicks over Easter, and they're colored. And I don't know if they do that anymore today, but you know, you'd have a purple chicken, a pink chicken, and how the world they did that, I have no clue. But I fell in love with animals probably even before that. Like I said, my grandfather was a chuck wagon cook, and all of he had hardening of the arteries. Brief story, hardening of the arteries. He lost his right leg due to hardening of the arteries, and it was amputated. So he worked off of the wagon as best as he could. The Diamond A Ranch is one of the ranches he worked off of. Insisted he retired. He retired. All the cowboys would come home, and I would sit on my grandfather's lap, and you'd be criticized like crazy for it today, but I used to roll his cigarettes, roll all of his buddies' cigarettes, and they would sit there and talk about the ranch and what all they've been doing and so on. Anyway, all those men would bring their horses over, and I fell in love with animals as young as that. And then it started with chickens from school, and I saw how rewarding chickens and horses and goats and all of those animals were to me growing up, as far as building a level of responsibility. You're not only responsible for caring for yourself, you're responsible for feeding these animals. And I've always felt that that was a really positive thing in my life. Fast forward to today, or not today, 18 years ago, we had our first child. 18 years ago tomorrow,
Oh.
Leela's, can't believe it happened that quick. And here we are, we're sitting at 18 years, and I can reflect back and look at all the photos that pop up on my computer screen and so on. And I can see how she's grown up with the animals, partially because of our initial introduction of them to her. And we started the same way, chickens, rabbits, goats, just like I did. And I can look back at her crowd of friends that she runs around with in 4-H, and her, how it's really, really fulfilled one of my dreams, if you will. And I've never expressed that so much, but I can see how it's flourished her. She, for her 18th birthday, which is tomorrow, she wants me to teach her how to drive a horse trailer around town. So, you know, it's things like that that I think are really, really good for today's society, that the animals have brought this out and about. So that's why we support all things that are positive and all things that are kind of related to the animal world, the 4-H world, because I can see the positive things that come from it. The mental processing, problem solving, all of that, all the way from, hey, we need more chicken food, let's go get more chicken food. And, you know, we'll have her buy her own chicken food. She's selling the eggs, she's taking a profit from it. So you should be able to pay for the chicken food to go sell your eggs. You know, it's just a full process. The rodeo piece, personally, I enjoy it. So we kind of support that. And then I can see the same process there with all of the kids growing up, going through the rodeo process. We've sponsored one.
Are you still there? I'm losing you, Kenny. Are you there?
Make them bigger and better.
Awesome. I lost you a little bit there, but we're going to continue. I may have to post this in 2 videos because I had to pause recording because we lost you. But the support in the 4-H, I mean, this is something we were talking about, me and my family, the other day. In these times, for everybody that's not in 4-H, that's not showing animals, understand right now is when every kid is out trying to buy their animal for county fair. And we're making a decision as a family. Are we going to buy pigs? Are we going to buy animals? Are we going to show this year? And we looked at it and said, we're going to buy. And so we bought pigs. We've got pigs now. On the aspect of, even if it doesn't, county fair doesn't happen, which is the culmination of all the kids' work in their projects, that we're giving them something to do. We're giving them the responsibility. We're giving them those tools that they need to move forward. And one of the best quotes I've seen recently was, we don't raise livestock. We have livestock to raise our kids. And you know, it's that responsibility with animals. I think it's awesome that you're giving back in that way, and that you're involved in those programs, because you know me, I'm a true believer in 4-H and rodeo. That's probably spend most of my time that makes me absolutely zero money doing that stuff, because we got to give back to our community. So let's talk about hand sanitizer. Let's talk about what you guys have done with that, because I know that it's in short supply right now. I tried to order some off of Target. There's none available. Let's talk about what you're doing there and how you guys came up with it.
This is a kind of a cool process. You know, we've always had I've always had this formula in mind, and whether it's rocket science or what, anyway, I've had this formula in mind, because forever ago, I have used a hand sanitizer, and it was like, for Pete's sake, this is nothing but straight alcohol, and it burns my skin, and I've got the itchies afterwards, the whole thing. So I said, if we were gonna make a hand sanitizer, we're gonna make it A, kill germs, B, condition the skin, and C, not be tacky. We're gonna go after those three positions and do the very, very best we can, just like we have with our pain relieving cream. So here we are. I've had this whole project in my mind, and we're on holiday. We're down in Cancun, and this whole COVID thing explodes while we're there. And I told my wife, and or it was the other way. She said, "You need to follow through with that hand sanitizer." And I looked at her and I thought, oh my word, but we have so much competition. And, you know, when the bottom line, yes, competition can be good. Competition is good. Competition can be bad, whatever, however you take it. But that's neither here nor there for us. We look at it like, look, let's make a product, A, that can help people, and be good for people, and be good for the environment. So all of our packaging is bought here in America. All of our ingredients are bought here in America. Those are a couple of positive things, most definitely. All of our packaging is fully recyclable. So that's great for the environment. But anyway, back to where my wife was after me to make this. I said, fine, I've got the packaging. Let's go for it. So we secure enough alcohol to make our first batch, and we've made a rather large batch, which we're excited about. We've sold quite a bit of it already. We've sold some to auto body industries. They're still an essential, if you will. We have donated a ton of it to a police force on one of the pueblos, to help the police force there. And we'll just kind of continue along those directions and do our web orders and our web sales. But anyway, my wife is like saying, Kenny, you've got to go and make this. So we got back, we flew into Denver from Cancun, and we noticed a few hundred people wearing the masks and so on. And I was like, wow, this thing is really real, because we're not the type to watch television or news when we're on holiday. So we came home to America, if you will, and bada bing, we're in the thick of all of it. And then we turn on the news when we get home and realize, wow, we have got to make this product. So anyway, 2 heavy, hard, long weeks in the lab, and here we are. Thanks to my wife, thanks to the perseverance of my lab, my chemist, all of those guys, we've developed a really amazing product. It's got aloe vera in it, vitamin E, a lot of glycerin, and 62% alcohol, and a little small hint of citrus. All ingredients derived from here in America. Even the alcohol. The alcohol, believe it or not, is a corn base coming from Iowa, middle America. So anyway, it's fun to support and buy ingredients from local American people. Not that, anyway, that's kind of our direction. And as more and more we can do that, the more and more we can um, be positive about our economy and helping our economy as much as we can.
Well, and I think that's awesome. You guys have always been US based on buying your products,
Mm-hmm.
purchasing, manufacturing, all of that's done in the United States. And I think that's amazing, especially in our economic world where you can get products and services cheaper in other locations. I think it's amazing that you've done that and kept it all at home. I love to support the local farmers. Farmers are having a hard time right now. Ranchers are too. Um, and the donation to the Pueblo police force to help them out is an amazing act of kindness and being involved in your community that you didn't have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to. But that's one of the things that I think people are really seeing come out of this is that in a time when we're completely divided, whether it be political or socioeconomics, whatever it is, where we've had more strife and division in our country, this has really brought everybody together.
And I've been praying so. Yeah.
I mean, I think that I'm going to be cheesy when I say this. We had to all be sent to the corner in timeout in order for us to realize that we're all in it together. So it's brought us together, but it's separated us as we go. But I want to commend you. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, because you're such an amazing, giving individual that cares about the community. And I can't thank you enough for what you've done in the community, whether it be 4-H or youth rodeo or just giving the way you do. And you should be commended for that. You're getting a medal from me. It'll be in the mail sometime later, probably never, because I don't know where to get a medal. But I think that in these times that we're in, the fact that you're smiling, that you're happy, and that you're finding ways to help people is something that we can all model ourselves after and that we can work harder to be, because I think thinking positive and being positive is what's going to pull us through this. And I want to thank you for that.
For sure.
So give us the Facebook page, give us phone numbers for Golden Tiger, give us the website and stuff so that we can get that information out.
Our website is goldentigerusa.com. And I'll say that again, goldentigerusa.com. Our phone number, our landline, is area code 505-857-9500. And our Facebook is Golden Tiger USA. And let me see, however else you can get in touch with us. Our emails are easy. You can email me directly with an order, snide remarks, what have you, comb your hair. My email is kenny@goldentigerusa.com, and that's Kenny. And can't think of any other way to touch base with us.
I think you covered it. So go to Golden Tiger USA, buy some hand sanitizer, donate it to somebody that needs it, get it for yourself. In these times, make sure you're taking care of yourself, but we also need to help our community. Again, I want to thank you for everything you're doing in the community and what you've done to help out. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on with me today and taking the time. I know you're busy packaging up hand sanitizer to help everybody out, but thanks again for being on.
For sure. Everett, I've got one more thing that just snapped up in my mind.
Sure.
Is in about 2 weeks' time, we are going to introduce little small packets. They're going to be like a catch-up packet. And they're going to have 5 grams of our hand sanitizer in it. And really, really reasonable. I think they're going to be around 5 cents a piece or something like that. So, that's an option too if you want to go onto our website, pick those up from us and put them in your pocket, your purse, whatever it is. It's going to be a new way. I believe it's going to be a new way of dispensing a hand sanitizer. And the film itself is recyclable too. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to pass that on. Keep an eye open for us on that. But currently, as we speak, we do have our 12-ounce pump bottle on our website for sale, and we have
Awesome.
plenty of inventory.
Awesome. That's amazing. I like the individual packet idea. Me carrying around a 12-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer everywhere I go is just not very realistic. I'm thinking of my wife with 3 kids and a purse full of little packets of hand sanitizer because it's easier to carry. I think it's a beautiful, innovative idea. So thank you again for being on. Everybody, remember goldentigerusa.com. Reach out to Kenny. Send him an email, kenny@goldentigerusa.com. Reach out, get the hand sanitizer. But while you're on there and you're getting hand sanitizer, I'm telling you right now, get the pain relieving cream. You will not regret it. So thanks again, Kenny, and we will catch up with you later.
We'll keep you in our prayers, and all the sick people out there also. We want to get over this, and we want to get back on our horses.
Sounds
Have a
good.
great week.